Right, welcome to this unique terrain tutorial. Instead of a usual full setup and then running it through, I'm going for a mini step-by-step setup here in this video. It's just to guide you through in a very basic way how we set up our tables for our games of Warhammer 40,000. So follow along step by step in a very sort of focused way here, and then just going through in logical order how I put the boards together. So as per usual, I'll leave links in the video description below, and I'm just going to explain each stage as we go along and explain how we build up our boards. So first step is, as always, is the foundation here. We're using battle mats from gamemat.eu. This can act as your foundation, your flat playing surface for your terrain setup. Just need a flat table, and then you can get a hold of the mat, and then it just rolls out nice and flat, and that gives you the foundation to build up the rest of the terrain on top. So, I mean, it could be any mat. This one here that we're using is the Imperial Refinery from gamemat.eu. I'll leave a link for it in the video description below. You'll also find a discount code for 11% off across their store, and that'll apply for all of their battle mats and also the terrain that they have on the website as well. They're shipping worldwide, so they can get these mats and terrain to you, no problem. But it's the Imperial Refinery mat from gamemat.eu. So that gives you your foundation. So a nice, soft, flat playing surface with all of the colours done for you. It's figure friendly. If models fall over, it's just that rubbery mouse mat material. Nice and quiet for dice rolling as well. So it just gives you a head start. It's really half the work done because putting together your own board, usually having to cut it out of MDF or plywood, and then texturing and painting, and then it's uneven surface and so on. It is a lot of work. I mean, it can look great if you do it well, but it is a lot of work. Storage can be a problem as well. With the battle mats, that's just instantly done for you, and these just roll up. They come with a carry case, so you can just store them away, no problem. So, Imperial Refinery, we've got our grey tones, lots of browns and rust going along with this one as well. So keeping that in mind, you're going to try and get the rest of your terrain, whatever it is, to match in with the foundation of the battle mat, just so that it all matches in nicely. Looks like the whole board belongs together. So that's the first step. Step number one is your battle mat, your foundation. Then, in order, we would set up the large terrain pieces next. So I've just got one piece as an example. So this is from the industrial terrain set by gamemat.eu. You actually get 4 of these in that set. You get larger structures, you get pipes, boxes and barrels and so on in with that set. So again, I'll leave a link for it in the video description below. I've just got the one piece here, which I have color adjusted for general industrial terrain use. Seems to match in really nicely with this battle mat, along with others as well. It kind of comes in this color here. So pre-painted, pre-made, there's no constructing work to do, and it comes in a basic color scheme, which I then varnish and then put paints on top. So some extra metallics I've introduced here on this terrain piece, extra color, this Avalon Sunset, it's a lovely color, and then I've done some rusting and chipping up effects on this as well. I've actually made a tutorial how to adjust the terrain, so I'll link that in the video description below as well. But just it didn't take very long. It's just some weathering, some extra colours, a bit of extra metallic, and there's none on this example here, but I also add some posters as well, some Imperial propaganda posters, just to really give it that 40k theme. So, battle mat and terrain pieces, these are placed on the board. So we'll place this and plant it here, just following sort of some of the structural lines here for this mat. So those are spread out all across the board, and that's going to take you just a little while to figure out where all the pieces go, but I would highly recommend you put out the large terrain pieces first, spread them out evenly and fairly across your table. So you're just thinking of the game, keeping things fair, so there's gaps in between for tanks and units to move around, and that you've got an even balance of terrain spread out all across the board. Then after they're in place, you're ready for a game. You don't really need to add anything else. So the rest really is optional accessories to add on top, which we really like to add, just to add the realism to our tables, to really immerse yourself into the 40k theme. And that's done in various stages, and I'm going to go through in order here. So this is the way that we set things up. I'll go through in the appropriate order right through to the last finishing touches. So next up is accessories. larger accessories, which are 3 types that we place onto our boards. And these are all scratch built, and they're all built using the same process and the same materials. So we have walkways, which are great for spanning gaps in between terrain pieces, so you can create extra levels on your boards. I suppose you could even use them as ramps as well, but usually you'll see them being used as spans across terrain pieces. If I come in a bit closer here so you can see. Brilliant materials. The rods that you can see, the I-beam, H-beam shapes, they are by a company called Plastruct. They come white, like a acrylic plastic, and you can cut them up to whatever size you need. And then the grid that you can see, the mesh, that's a car body aluminium repair kit. I get it off eBay. You can easily, it's very cheap to get hold of, a few pounds to get hold of a pack. Comes in sheets, and you can cut that to size just with actual scissors will do it, or a modeling knife, and you can just put that onto your frame like so. Massive fan of these. Now, I haven't painted these any particular theme, just a general rusty metal, so that whatever terrain we're using, we can use these across the different terrain setups. So you'll notice that on our boards, these walkways, they migrate over onto whatever terrain we're using. But these are excellent, and had them years and expanded them in size, so we've got a nice selection of them available. Same material, same process. You can then use to make these posters, these billboards. Instead of mesh going across the Plastruct frame, it's just home printed propaganda posters. If you go onto Google and search for Warhammer 40,000 propaganda posters, there's loads out there. Some made by Games Workshop, which they let you use. Others made by fans. And that's just inkjet printed at home. Again, cut out with scissors and then super glued on to the frame. It's a full tutorial for this on the channel, which I'll link below. Once you have these things, and again, once you have these done, you can use them just across your terrain setups. And again, same process, same materials to make these chain link fences, which are great for creating zones on your board, and real good sort of industrial theme with these. This modelling barbed wire, which you can search that on eBay. It's the same process. So, as things like fence can just attach in like so. If there's a large piece of terrain that could go on top or nearby, and again the walkways can be used to span across. So we'll just leave those out. So then, moving on to smaller accessories, but still significant enough. Pipes are great. These just sit real nice on industrial terrain. Not too much effort with these, just sprayed silver, some rusty effects done with them. These are from Games Workshop. These look great, just being attached onto terrain. Trying to get your large terrain pieces to blend in with the terrain board. So with the board, you've got industrial themed stuff running along here in pipes. Now you actually physically got them in 3D here as well. These are from Games Workshop. Just industrial terrain pieces. Excellent. I've actually stuck all these pieces on here so I can just easily place them. Like so. Tank traps from Games Workshop as well. Great for spanning across terrain gaps. So those accessories, you're just trying to turn it from an industrial site into a bit of military stuff going on. So you've got tank traps and barricades and so on. Just adds to that battlefield kind of thing. So I've just been building this terrain up. I'll just move these pieces out of the way. We've got a little miniature setup looking something like this. And then we have little extras. So those little things you pick up. That's a commemorative Space Marine. Released years ago. A standalone individual model. I haven't the heart to get rid of him, or there's no army that I can add him to. So I just have him wandering around on the battlefield. Little finishing touches like that. This is a slain Blood Angels Terminator. It's actually from one of the Tyrannid Monster models. You get it with the base. And so I just took that away and then painted him separate. All the battle damage is already done for you. So Toxicrene model is actually. nice little finishing touches. I'll put him in there. Slain model. And this one of my favourites. It's actually from the Space Hulk board game. So it's for use in that game. But again, standalone model. Looks great on the battlefield. So you may find little things like that. You can make your own casualties yourself. But it's just to get your board to look like it belongs in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. And just little touches like that where people say, oh look, there's a slain Space Marine. Then that's giving you a nice 40k theme. That looks all right. The final finishing touch is these two. Pretty much all the boards that we do is always stones, and then if appropriate, some foliage as well. And my favourite is lichen. So you can get a hold of this off places like eBay. You go to model railway shops. It's always better to physically see it if you can. Online it's hard to tell the tone. If you're not too fussed, it doesn't really matter, but sometimes it's nice just to physically see both the size of the product. Sometimes you look at something online, it looks really good, you get it through the post, it's a tiny bag, but if you can physically see what you're getting a hold of, it's much better. And a medium-sized bag of lichen will spread out across the table just nicely. I'm not going to use it on this board, it's industrial terrain. Perhaps if I was running the terrain that was run down and abandoned, I could introduce a little bit of this, but I'm going to leave it out this time around. But for I must mention lichen because we do use it in a lot of our terrain setups. And with lichen, compared to other flocker materials, there's no residue left behind. There's nothing left here. There's no fibres, bits falling off and so on. Nice natural product. Just store it away, don't let it dry out, and that will last you a lifetime. So massive fan of lichen. It's an easy way of bringing some scatter onto the board. And finally the stones. Intermingled with that is little spare pieces of terrain, weapons, again to give you that nice 40k theme. There's a pulse rifle mixed in there, so save your spare pieces like that, they look great on the battlefield. These stones are naturally been collected from the beach, and then I can't find an original colour here, but they were quite pastel originally, but I then took I took a load of these, put them into a tray, and then sprayed them randomly with red, some black, you can see it's come through there, some regular brown. Just put them in a tray, spray them up with one colour, let them dry, shake the tray up, spray the next colour, let them dry, spray the next colour, and keep going until the shade and tone matches in with the shade and tone of your board. And then I just put in random piles. This is the way I'm showing it to you here, is pretty much how we set up our boards, just on miniature scale. And I'm going to put one in here, looking something like that. And the idea is you're blending your terrain into the battle mat. So the battle mat is dead flat, which is one of the disadvantages. It's got plenty of advantages. It's great for placing terrain on, great gaming surface, but it is dead flat. There's no sculpture to this here. It's all dead flat. So what you're trying to do is lift your board up, so those little stones can help lift just gently off the ground and then blend into the rest of the terrain that you have. And if you really want to add in, I mean, I'm going to put in a bit of lichen here just to illustrate. Put a bit in there, I'll tuck a bit in there, and it gives you an idea of how this works. So as you've seen, it's taken me seconds to do that, but just doing it in the right order will give you the results that you see just here. So with the lichen, I don't want to do too much, and just nice and random. The same with the stones. I don't want to sprinkle stones evenly all the way around. Too artificial looking. Just random little piles, and that's more than enough. And that's given us a nice bit of realism on the board. So that's pretty much it. And the other question that people ask, and I guess we can do it on this video, is how do you pack up your boards? How long does it take? So I usually go in reverse order. So I will take up and put away the large pieces first. Again, this is just a mini demonstration, but this is how it's done. So large pieces put away, that leaves you all of this, and then we just put the accessories away like so. Then literally I go around grabbing lichen. See how easy it's all picked up and bagged up. That just leaves you with your stones, and then you can gather those together. Or often what I do is I'll take the corners of the battle mat, lift each corner, and all the stones roll into the middle, and then I can gather those up and then just put them into a bag. Something like this. It just goes into a bag like so, and then the lichen goes into a separate bag, and that's just stored away. It's as easy as that. Literally would take me about 5 to 10 minutes to pack away a full board of all the detail that you usually see. It doesn't take very long at all. And then you just roll up the battle mat, put it in its zip carry bag, store it away, ready for the next game. So I hope that's good. Perhaps a mini demonstration is just going to help you to get your head around the way it works. When you see a board fully set up, people may say, well, that's taking ages, I couldn't do anything like that. But perhaps when you see it stage by stage, it makes it a lot more manageable. But I really would encourage you to get past that mental hurdle of terrain. It really is rewarding if you can get into terrain and come up with some great terrain setups. The battle mats are as accessible to you as they are to me. You can get a hold of one of those. No problem at all. That's going to be half your work done. It gives you a foundation, your colours, a great gaming surface. The industrial terrain set is pre-painted and pre-made. Again, so it's not much work involved. If you want to enhance the colour scheme, just follow the tutorial along. It's very, very easy. It doesn't take too long. A couple of hours work will get you the same results that you see here. And then on top of that, it's the accessories. Some more complicated than others. Some you can source directly from Games Workshop and other suppliers. These again from Games Workshop as well. GameMat.eu do their own pipes also. And then for more of a challenge, but for some very unique terrain, you've got the walkways, posters and fences as well, which you can use for all your terrain setups. So really worth investing your time into. And then the final finishing touches, anyone can get a hold of a bag of lichen. That's the colour it came. You can pick and choose which colours you want to go for. And then the stones, as explained, they're just natural stones I picked up at the beach and then sprayed them up with the colours that I have running through the battle mat. So in this particular case, it was black spray, red and brown, and I kept spraying until I got a nice match with the battle mat. So that's a walkthrough on a mini scale, but hopefully that demonstrates how easy it is to put the boards together and indeed to pack them up as well. Keep a lookout for more terrain tutorials on the channel. Links below. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.